Okay, this next video is going to be a fun one for me. I'm going to talk a little bit about nightlife at tech school, uh, Air Force Tech School. I went to intelligence school at Goodfellow Air Base in West Texas, and it was long. The recruiter told me tech school was 90 days. Well, guess what? It was 90 business days, 90 duty days. So if you include the weekends and holidays, it totals to about like 5.5 months. So I was in tech school from July 2019 till the middle of December 2019. I didn't wash back, which is great. Um, but to make it through, you really have to mentally cope with a very stressful class environment. They put you under a lot of duress in doing your training. So, Fridays, weekends, what we would do if we were over 21 was we would Uber out or rent a car for the weekend and just go out to town and get wasted. So I just want to um, give a little list of recommended places. First of all, places to eat. You have your standard places downtown. The Angry Cactus for burgers. You have 01 Ale House, which is decent. They have a good selection of beers. The food could get a little costly. But then you also have the Twisted Root, which is also okay. And then you have like the bigger restaurants near the mall, like Texas Roadhouse, Cielo's. Now, since you are in West Texas, I highly recommend you try the Mexican food. I'm only going to mention the top two that I feel are worth mentioning. Um, the second best Mexican food I had in my time there was a place called um, it was called Franco's. Franco's. It's a little hole in the wall place. It's like a family-owned Mexican restaurant, and they have good portions, and the food was great. It was amazing. It's like Mexican soul food, and if you're in San Angelo, I highly recommend you try it. Um, and coming in at number one is Armenta's Cafe. Armenta's Cafe. It's not a cafe; it's a Mexican restaurant. It's smaller. It also has like a little family atmosphere, hole in the wall atmosphere. Now, the portions, in my opinion, are smaller than Franco's, but the food is good. It's really good. It's a notch above Franco's, in my opinion, and I highly recommend you try it. It's like if you're there, just please try it. Okay. As far as other food stuff, you have what the pho, which is for pho for Vietnamese food. For sushi, you have Nakamura's, which is like a Korean-owned Japanese restaurant. It's a standard Japanese restaurant with additional Korean dishes, which is good. I like to go there. And then you have the other place. What was the other place called again? Let me just look it up quickly. I should have looked this up before I did this. Let's see. Right, it's called Masa, Masa, sushi bar and Japanese grill. It's good. It's good for a date, I guess. It's not like I wouldn't say. I mean, it's West Texas, right? It's not the best sushi I ever had, considering that I lived in Japan for a decade. But um, being Asian and being away from Asian food for so long through basic training and everything, um, if you have a craving for sushi and Japanese food, you have Nakamura and then you have Masa. Uh, Now, which one tastes better? It depends on your preference, but Masa has more fancy rolls, and Nakamura has more standard sushi with a selection of Korean food. Now, what a lot of people don't know that there is an Asian market near the University of San Angelo. Um, It's a Korean owned. It's like a little Asian market where you can buy Asian stuff, instant noodles, liquor, and stuff. Now, for lunch hours and dinner hours, you can go in the back of the store where the dude's wife is like making lunch and dinner, and you can order whatever food you want. It's Korean. It's all Korean, and you can buy whatever drinks or liquor you want from the store and just drink it as you eat it. That got me through some pretty rough times. It's always good to have some rice, some Korean soul food, and some soju um, to get me by. So that's it for food. As for uh, getting wasted on weekends, if you're over 21, the standard pregame place I used to go to was the EC, the Event Center on Goodfellow Air Base. It's a bar on base. It's hidden away in a little corner of the event center. You can go there and get fairly reasonable, that's actually very affordable drinks. And we pregame. I get like maybe 2 shots of whiskey and a tall glass of beer. I make a Boilermaker. You mix the whiskey with the beer, get a buzz. You start feeling good. You get somebody with a ride or get an Uber and go out to town. Then typically at night, where I like to go, well, in the beginning, I used to go to Blaine's a lot. It's like a kind of like a Texas style bar where you have guys wearing cowboy hats and stuff going. They have live music at night, and it's okay. If you have like friends to talk to, you go there to get free popcorn and peanuts and stuff. It's not bad. And then you also have what I call the second EC, the Pearl. So the actual name is called the Pearl. The long name is called the Concho Pearl Ice House. Now the reason why I call it the second EC is because it's basically like Air Force people that are just Air Force students, tech school students are giving the place its business. I mean, aside from that, I don't really see many like non-Air Force people there. So when I feel like congregating and fraternizing with my Air Force student buddies, I go there. When I don't feel like seeing any Air Force people, I go to other places. Um, if you like loud music, dancing, and shaking your ass and stuff, there's a Chadbourne Tavern, which is also downtown. This is all downtown, by the way. It's about like within a 10 minutes drive from base. Now Chadbourne Tavern is okay, but it's not my place. It's loud, it's crowded, and it's a bit ratchety. I don't really like it that much. Um, Now, if you're into sports bars and stuff like that, if you're watching football, basketball, whatever, there's a bar called Shenanigans. It's like an Irish pub. Um, and that's okay. I was there a few times, just for sports. It's not really a place to meet people. And then there's also Fiddle Strings, um, where they have a few more activities. It's also like a sports bar. You can play like sandbags and stuff. You toss sandbags and just like this thing where you could play beer pong, except there's like barrels, and you go inside the barrels and you throw like dodgeballs and shit at each other and try to get them into the barrels. I don't know. That's okay. But I'm getting to this. My number one favorite bar in my entire experience in San Angelo was the Parrot's Head Tavern. Like parrot, like the bird. The Parrot's Head Tavern. The reason why I like it so much is it's like a dive bar. Locals go there. It has like every type of person you can imagine. It's not cliquey at all. It's a place where people can just talk to you. You can talk to people. They're it's West Texas, right? You wouldn't imagine you see a lot of Asian people. Say all the Korean study abroad students in San Angelo University. Hey, they're all there. And then you have the locals, and then you have some Air Force students in San Angelo University. Hey, they're all there. And then you have the locals, and then you have some Air Force. I would say it's a very good place to get to know people. You can read into a little bit more about what I'm saying, but go yourself and you will see. Sometimes I talk to people, sometimes people just come up to me and talk. It was a very good place to be. So as far as that, Parrots at Tavern is my number one. If you're like drinking on a Saturday afternoon, and there's no bars open yet, now my favorite place for casual drinking, like a casual pint of like craft beer or whatever, is literally called the Casual Pint. The Casual Pint. It's also downtown. You can go there. Kids are welcome. It's a very relaxed, upscale environment. It's not expensive. And by the way, drinking in San Angelo is very, very economical. You wouldn't believe it. I could have like all these cocktails, beers, and whatever, get totally wasted, right? And I would end up like with a tab of like 30 something dollars, which like in New York, it would typically run at least like 100 some dollars. So keep that in mind. Um, I mean, aside from that, there's not much I was doing uh, on weekend nights. Sometimes people would get hotel rooms. We would, buy alcohol and party there and stuff. Um, but other than that, not a lot, not a lot much is going. Um, but as I said in my previous videos, it really isn't about what you do. It's about who you're with, and the friends you make. In a long tech school, you will uh, build a strong bond with them. Like they're very different people, and you probably wouldn't normally be friends with them, but you're stuck together, and you have to work in it as a team together, and you'll find yourself drinking together and laughing together and talking together, and that's what really got me through. Are my great friends, and we still talk to each other in a group chat these days, months after tech school, and and we were, as a group, we were fortunate enough to have places that I mentioned uh, in this video to enjoy ourselves. So yeah, that's all I really have to recommend for nightlife at Goodfellow Airbase. I hope you can take something away from this and have fun if you're going to Intel school. Um, yeah, great. Enjoy.